And now, live in studio, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
Yes, here we are again another day, committed to being your consumer advocate. It's all about helping you win in any marketplace, making you just a bit more street smart here every day. We're your 4 o'clock drive time right here on AM 860 The Answer, weekend show on FM 102.5 The Bone. And make sure you follow us online at Brandon Rhymes 1 on Instagram and Twitter, and the Consumer Quarterback Show page on Facebook out there as well. And also on your smart televisions, you can find us on Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, Roku, Sony TV, 85 other outlets. Just search up Binge Networks. You'll find us on Binge Networks there. And it's all about you, helping you, our radio family, our TV family here, helping you understand more about your buying decisions. Over 80 different categories of expert contributor content here on the show. And it's all about helping you understand, how to avoid a lot of the commission-based advice that's so prevalent in our community. And that's what's unique about this show. It's consumer advocate-based, and it's all about the Tampa Bay region of Florida here and the Gulf Coast region of Florida. And it's brought to you by Taps Restaurant. The official restaurant partner is Taps Restaurant over at the West Shore Plaza, over International Plaza on Bay Street, West Shore Boulevard, and it offers outdoor patio seating. Dogs are welcome, so you can bring your furry friends as well. Charming interior, great ambiance, excellent food, and a very friendly staff. Join them for a happy hour every day, 2 to 7 p.m. happy hour, and also a local gastropub. They've got some great food dishes over there. The tuna is absolutely amazing with quinoa. The salmon looks awesome as well. Check them out at Taps Restaurant. Let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you right over there on West Shore Boulevard at the International Plaza, 2223 North West Shore Boulevard. And this is a intelligent show, intelligent talk lineup. We got Chuck Peterson back in the house, Suncoast Roofing. Welcome in, sir.
Appreciate you saying that we're intelligent, and we all like that piece.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, just glad to be back here in Tampa Bay in the lovely warm Florida instead of anywhere up north. It's friggin' freezing.
Getting there. It's getting down.
Cold.
I saw some of those football games over the weekend.
Yeah, my Panthers were playing in the snow.
Yeah, that's right. That's the one I was talking about.
Yeah.
Green Bay.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. So we're going to talk about Suncoast Roofing today, some of the different products you guys offer.
Yep, absolutely. A little bit about roofing, a little bit about solar if we got time.
Excellent. Sounds great. We also have Master Sergeant H.L. Allen. He's retired military ID shield in the house. Welcome back, sir.
Thank you. It's good to be back.
Yeah, man. Give us a little teaser what we're going to talk about today.
We're going to talk about employee benefits.
Okay.
And the main reasons of having identity theft plus some kind of legal service to offer your employees. Because every 2 seconds someone becomes a victim of identity theft, and every 39 seconds there's a data breach.
Wow, yeah, it's so prevalent nowadays.
Yes.
It's definitely happening, to our government. We're seeing it happen to some of the biggest companies in the world.
Yes.
Target, all different types of companies happening too. So it's a way that you can protect yourself as a citizen and also a business owner.
Yes.
And Connor Keller rounding out our expert contributor panel today, Insect IQ. Welcome back, sir.
Thank you, Brandon. How you doing?
Doing well, thank you.
Good. I want to talk about wildlife today. It's become, it's that time of year where things are seeking shelter. We're talking about the weather. It's freezing. That weather's coming here. I noticed this week it's going to be in the lows, but if you look at next week, the extended forecast, it just drops off the scale. So
wow.
We might get a real big freeze around Thanksgiving, which would be nice too.
Awesome. Yeah, that sounds good. Well, now, will that kill off some of the mosquitoes as well, some of the larvae and all that?
It does, but unfortunately the next day it's 80 degrees again and it rains, and so it's a vicious cycle in Florida. But mainly things are going to seek shelter. The rodents, the roof rats, even raccoons, all those kind of mammal animals will come inside this time of year, look for reproduction sites and shelter, water, food, and they bring all sorts of nasty stuff with them.
Yeah, it seems like it's a cycle that happens. So great lineup for you today here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, and we got some good tips coming for you. A feel-good story of the day as well. Boss pays off employee's mortgage to allow him to retire early. Pretty cool stuff here in our feel-good story of the day. And as you know, I'm the owner of the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. Got a hot listing I want to let you know about here in Tarpon Springs. 216 North Spring Boulevard. Tarpon Springs, 3-bedroom, 3-bath property, 2,892 square foot, beautiful property here, right in the area, the walkability area of Tarpon Springs. You can walk to where they host the Epiphany there. They have the downtown restaurants. It's a great walkability in this area, and it's a great opportunity to own a nice large home. Many upgrades throughout as well. It's got beautiful flooring throughout, nice updated kitchen, and just a great opportunity. Owner is motivated at 216 North Spring Boulevard in Tarpon Springs. That's the 34689 zip code here in Tampa Bay. And we've got 861 Mandalay Avenue, Clearwater Beach. This is a property that is on the beach. An awesome opportunity to own a beach house on North Clearwater Beach here in Tampa Bay. 861 Mandalay Avenue, $699,000 reduced, just below the comps as well. It's priced below the comparables in the neighborhood. So 2-bedroom, 2-bath property, 3 bedrooms actually in the back. There's a 3rd bedroom in the back, but we cannot count it because of the MLS rules. So check out all of our real estate properties at PlatinumMVPTeam.com. PlatinumMVPTeam.com. All right, we got Chuck Peterson into the house kicking us off here. Suncoast Roofing, different types of roofing opportunities out there, and what are you seeing out mostly?
Right now, we're just, the bad rains we had a couple weeks ago, the leaks started back up, so we're out running, doing a lot of repairs for folks, and getting folks ready for that holiday season is coming when we don't see much of nothing.
yeah, it slows down a little bit.
Oh yeah, Thanksgiving gets here and it slows down because people want to, their money's talking about Christmas presents, not roofing.
Yeah, that's right.
But the one thing we've been talking to a lot of people about is the on the solar side, that 30% tax rebate ends the end of this year. And so far, Congress hasn't passed a resolution to pass it on to keep it up for next year, so it'll start tailing off. And we've sold quite a bit of solar here the last quarter.
Yeah.
With people trying to get in before that deadline to take their rebate.
So yours is built in directly into the roofing panels?
It is. It's right. Well, it's not in the roofing panels, but it goes right on the roof deck. So if you would, picture a skylight on your roof, that's what it would look like. And
okay.
I know I had a brochure, but I couldn't find it in the truck. But it sits right on your roof deck. We shingle around it or metal around it, and it looks just like a skylight. Black glass. It's the highest rated panels, on the market today. And we do small packages. They're $12,000-$14,000 packages. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't completely take you off the grid completely, but it takes your tier 2 power, which is your more expensive power, pretty much off the grid for you.
What does that mean exactly when you got tier? So you have a tier 1 and tier 2.
Yeah. So your basic power that comes into your house in Florida is very cheap. We're in the bottom 10 of the country as far as the cost of a kilowatt hour in power goes. Compared to Texas and California and New York, those big states where you see solar everywhere, they're in the top 10.
Right.
So the tier 1 power we get here is relatively cheap, and then there's a certain set amount for FP&L and Duke and those guys. Once you pass that at your house, the price goes up because you're using more power for a household. And that's tier 2 power, so your kilowatt hour cost goes up. And the small panel things that we can provide help do away with the tier 2 power part.
Right.
Instead of doing a custom for your whole house, which is great to do, but the return on investment in the state of Florida is much longer than in other states. Where I'm from in North Carolina, it's about 7 to 8 years. Here it's 10 to 12 years.
Right.
So the tier 2 part pays off a lot quicker because you're just paying against the more expensive power.
Yeah, that makes sense. We're talking with Chuck Peterson here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes. Now, Suncoast Roofing, you guys work a lot with the real estate agents as well. A lot of the realtors listen to the show, mortgage brokers. So if you're a fellow realtor out there and you've got a deal going sideways because of the roof issues, Chuck and his team, they know the importance of getting involved.
Right. Yeah. I mean, if you have a realtor, and I know Brandon, several of your guys have called, and we appreciate it. But if you're a realtor out there and you've got a roof report or a home inspection report, and it has something that has to be handled, and you got a closing next week or so, or the next day or two, whatever. Mm-hmm. If you will call us, we'll have somebody be out there within a day or two. Mm-hmm. To get it settled up, because we understand the importance of that being done so the closing can take place. You know, it's one of those where, once it's there, and it has to be dealt with one way or another.
Yep.
And we will we'll move you guys straight to the front of the line unless there's some natural disaster that precludes that. You know, but we're coming. We understand that side of the business a lot.
And a lot of times it's just something fascia, soffit that needs to be repaired, right?
Yeah, a lot of times it's very, I'd say minor. All things being said, with the cost of a roof, it's $1,000, $1,500 type repairs can be done and done quickly. And once we have the home inspection report, we don't have to send somebody out there to try to figure out what it is. They send the inspection report over. We send the repair guys out with the stuff they need.
Yep.
Call we deal usually just straight with the real estate agent. And either they pay for it out of the closing, like we're doing a couple. Yep. Or the homeowner pays, either the buyer or the seller, depending on how that works out.
Right. 3 different types of roofing. Let's go through them briefly here. So you got shingles, most affordable,
right? Probably
most commonly used.
Correct. Yeah, and it's the most value for your dollar. So we're master elite contractors, which puts us in the top 2% of installers for GAF in the state of Florida, actually in the country for us. So having that master elite status, our warranty is 50 years on your shingles.
Wow.
It's an unbelievable warranty that you can get in Florida, but Florida's made the building codes pretty stout and the wind resistant codes pretty stout, so the manufacturers had to actually make the materials in the installation to match that. So now that it does, GAF backs that warranty, so it's 50 years. The first 25 years is non-prorated labor and materials, so if we put it on your house wrong or the shingles go bad in the first 25, GAF pays for all of it.
Wow.
And that's if Suncoast is around or not.
And that's important. That's important for a lot of the other companies that may not be around.
Yeah,
that's
GAF's the oldest, largest shingle manufacturer in the country.
Yep. So we got the 2 other types. We got aluminum and
you got metal roofs or aluminum roofs, depending on if you're on the water. If you're on the water, you have to have aluminum to get a warranty for the salt water.
Okay.
But if you're not, you just get a regular metal roof, and they're 40-year warranties, and they're great products. They're just more expensive than the shingles, so it's really a choice that the homeowner makes. I want this kind of look on my house. Unless of course you're in a HOA where the rules and regulations set what you can or can't put on. But usually if people have a metal roof on their house, it's because that's what they want the look to be.
That's right.
And then of course we've got the tile, the concrete tile or clay tile, which is the most expensive, versus maybe aluminum might be more expensive these days with all the tariffs. But tile's the most expensive roof, and usually that's a lot of tile down south of us, but not a lot of tile Tampa and up.
Interesting. All right, so there's your overview of the different roofing types.
It's a Reader's Digest version right there. Roofing.
That's it. Quick version. All right, good stuff. More from Chuck coming up in our lightning round as well. And when we come back, more from our expert contributors here in studio. We got our feel-good story of the day coming at you. Boss pays off an employee's mortgage to allow him to retire early. Find out about this Vietnam veteran that got a nice surprise from his boss. Stay with us right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, ConsumerQB.com.
Thanks for listening to my daddy's show. For more information, go to consumerqb.com.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, this week we're going to talk about something exciting as usual.
We always have something exciting.
Yes, we do.
At least it's exciting to us.
But this is a question that comes up.
TV, hey, it is Friday night. We're not here. Yes, we pre-recorded once again because WeBeam TV is working over in Tampa with Dancing with the Stars.
62 Who Knew. I almost said Professional Mortgage Alliance, Joe's Bar and Grill. But actually, it's our 39th week of 62 Who Knew.
We're at the wonderful steampunk event at the Verizon Event Center here in 2019. I think it's still August, right? Yeah. Woo! Can't remember it.
To be able to help businesses to do that part of it. But it's just been a couple of years.
Well, and I've taken the business card files from our business cards from Tampa.
Entrepreneurs and professionals of Tampa Bay, welcome to your hour for getting the information, the tools, and the connections
Ian
for
Beckles on Radio Influence.
your super connector. We want to introduce you to our 50-plus show partners. We got over 80 categories of expert contributor advice here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, and we want to...
That's where we disagree, but that's okay.
I said nonviolent.
That's okay.
Because, you know, we're one of the only states that don't give them back the right. Got Jamie Limbaugh. He is from the Next Step Image. I love that name because you were telling me earlier.
For the type of republic we actually are is actually very correct. Yet politicians and regular people use these words interchangeably, even though technically they are very different.
If you're an overdoer, overachiever, people pleaser, we tend to neglect ourselves. And even as Sisters Connected here, you know, with Women Unscripted, I know.
You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, your host of the Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team. Keller Williams Realty, helping you win in your real estate deals, real estate buying, selling, or investing. We would love to talk to you and help you understand more about what the comparables are doing, the absorption rate in your neighborhood, and it's all neighborhoods are local, so it's important to have an agent that understands the market and can tell you, what the values are, what's happening in there. So we got Infinity Medical Institute. This segment is brought to you by InfinityMedicalInstitute.com. They're located right here in Tampa, 10 years in the business, and they offer low T therapy, weight loss plans, cosmetic services like Botox, improved sexual wellness, and increased energy. And they offer hormone therapy at Infinity Medical Institute, successfully treating over 40,000 patients, and they are the leading experts in bio-natural hormone replacement therapy serving the greater Tampa area. And Infinity Medical Institute's exclusive hormone therapy options are not only the most effective, but they cannot be duplicated anywhere else. So you find the pellet hormone therapy there, help you with weight loss, men's programs as well. Reach out to our friends at Infinity Medical Institute right here in Tampa, 813-871-2929. That's 813-871-2929, 1715 Northwest Shore Boulevard. Infinity Medical Institute. Let them know the real estate quarterback sent you. All right, back here in studio, our goal is to help you win. We got a couple of hot listings we'll let you know about here. This property, 4348 Harbor Point Drive in Port Richey, $2 million property that I've got listed. Bay access. This is perfect for the fishermen out there, folks that enjoy the water, and a lot of room for your toys here. 6,700 square feet home, 4348 Harbor Point Drive in Port Richey. Gorgeous property. One of my favorite listings right now, right on the waterfront. There's 2 security gates that you have to get into before you're even into the community. Harbor Point Drive in Port Richey is filled with beautiful mansions and palaces right here in Port Richey, Florida. Great opportunities to own real estate. Check out all of our properties at PlatinumMVPTeam.com. Somewhere sunny and 75. All right, we got Chuck Peterson in the house, Suncoast Roofing. Connor Keller coming up next as well, Insect IQ. And we're going to talk with Master Sergeant Retired. Thanks for your service as well, HL.
You're welcome.
Identity Shield. And I'm going to talk a lot about some options here for folks. Gun owner supplements. You got data breaches happening. Identity theft is rampant. Where do you want to start?
I start with the gun supplement program.
Okay.
And the reason I want to start with that, because day and age like this, we have to protect ourselves, also our family, also our business. And the main thing, always, especially with this when we were taught in the military, if you aim at something, you better shoot it. And you better know what you're shooting at. Yeah. And had this one gentleman, it's really sad, in Texas. He went outside and someone was getting ready to go in the storage room. Mm-hmm. And he was, I guess, told the guy, they had a conversation, and the guy started coming at him, so he shot in the direction of the guy, so the guy took off, and when the guy took off, he shot again. And once he did that, he went back in the bed, went back in the bed, and went to sleep, went back to bed. Mm-hmm. Long story short, he get up the next morning, and something landed in his yard. He's trying to figure out, what is that? He had shot the guy.
Oh, wow.
And went back to bed. And so his wife, she called attorney, and the law enforcement got involved. He got charged with murder.
Wow.
Murder charges and stuff. And the main thing, know what you're shooting at. And if you have a situation like anytime you use that weapon, you need to be talking to an attorney. You need to be talking to an attorney. Don't just wait and see what's going to happen next, because a lot of us, as civilians, we don't know our rights.
Yeah.
In fact, we have a saying in Legal Shield: if you don't know your rights, you don't have any rights. So whenever you use that weapon, you better know what you're doing, and you better be able to talk to an attorney. You won't be able to talk to one right away.
Yeah.
Because there was another gentleman. He pretty much was protecting himself, and he used his weapon, and it cost him $500,000.
Wow.
So it's just like, what's going on here?
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of scenarios. We talked with Thomas King from Florida Firearms Academy as well. We talked to him on the show about different things that happen, because you're, in a lot of cases, when you're defending your home or your business or your automobile or whatever, you're committing a crime to stop a crime.
Right.
Essentially, even though it is, if it's deemed self-defense in the end.
Right.
But you have to have this gun owner supplement that you guys offer as well.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Basic peace of mind with the gun owner supplement. It also comes with Legal Shield. So, like I mentioned earlier, whenever you use that weapon, it's a good thing to be able to reach out and talk to your attorney right away, find out what your rights are, because 911, you definitely need to let them know what's going on too. But your attorney, they're going to be able to guide you through the situation, because we're talking about a situation that you just either took someone's life or injured someone. And this is a serious situation. I know when I was in the military, if I'm at war and stuff, part of my job is to defend the United States. So if somebody gets shot, hey, they get shot. But we talking about something different. We talking about you protecting your family.
Yeah.
We talking about protecting your business. And whatever you got to do to protect your family, you're going to do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's, it just makes good sense.
And these are affordable plans that we're talking about
very affordable.
Yeah.
We're talking about for the Legal Shield plan and the gun supplement plan, we're talking about $37.95. And we're talking about you have access 24/7 access to your attorney. We talking about contract review. We talking about speeding tickets. We talking about you have over 400. You have access to over 400 vendors that you can use right away. So it just gives you a peace of mind knowing that if you ever have a situation, you're able to reach out and talk to your attorney right away.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And we got some footage that we can put up on the TV show here as well, Rob. We've got different packages that he offers: employee benefits, ID theft. We've got the gun owner supplement as well. So this one here is the ID Shield 3 Bureau monitoring versus LifeLock. So tell us about that.
Based with that, this is like our top of the line, pretty much. Based our competitor is LifeLock, but with LifeLock, their price is cost more now. Ours are more affordable. We talking about we kill up to a family of 10.
Wow.
And LifeLock doesn't. They cut up to a family of 2, and if they go past 2, you're gonna have to get charged for that. But we talking about we monitor your credit, we monitor your email, we monitor and the thing that matter most. Because with identity theft, every 2 seconds someone come a victim of identity theft, and with this program right here, just give you a peace of mind knowing that if you have a situation, you're able to reach out to not only your attorney but also your private investigator. They go to work for you.
Right. Yeah. Because that's another key point. A lot of times you're going to be getting private investigators involved.
Exactly.
When it comes to this.
Yeah. Because this is something that you're not going to be able to do on your own. We're talking about anywhere from 175 hours to 600 hours that you got to take out of your time. We're talking about $1,000 that's going to come out your pocket.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the identity theft prevention, it's a key aspect of your business.
Yes, it is. Yeah. And this is something that we all have the employee benefit. We actually offer to families, whether you have 5 employees, whether you have 10,000 employees, we can accommodate you. And now, between now, let's say the first of the year, a lot of companies are going to be looking for benefits. We have a benefit, I think, is 7 to none.
Yeah, that sounds interesting. So we're talking, if you just joined us here, Brandon Rhymes, I'm your host of the show. We're talking with H.L. Allen. He's retired Master Sergeant in the military, and he's his company, his business now is ID Shield. Talk about identity theft prevention.
Yes.
We talk about employee benefits. Talk to us from an employer standpoint. This is something where they could bring you in and you could talk to the employees. You could help them launch this as a benefit for the business.
Yes, in fact, myself and 3 other Air Force folks, somehow they're the Air Force, so we call us the Power Team. In fact, this coming on Friday, we'll be over in Sarasota. But what we do, we go into companies and we explain that the benefit of having legal service. Also, we explain to the benefit of having identity theft protection. Because with all the data breach that's going on, you need to have something in place to protect your employees.
Right.
And when we go and do a presentation, we don't try to go in there and pressure anyone. We go in and educate them. So if you see a need for the service, get it. If you don't, hey, don't. But here's what I know: a lot of of times we go and talk to companies about our service, they sign up for it because it makes sense. Because anytime someone have a identity theft issue, or they get a speeding ticket, or they're going through a divorce, it's going to take their mind off their job, and they're going to try to figure out that situation that's going on. But our job is to make sure put everybody at ease.
Yeah, and you also have other benefits as well. Rob just put up on our show, on our screen here, different discounts at apparel, automotive, cell phones, electronics, finance, health, wellness, travel, all types of outdoor, all types of vendors, Verizon, Office Depot, AMC Theaters. Tell us about that.
And the good thing about that membership perk, basically, whether you get a $9.95 membership, which is identity theft, or you get a $24.95 identity theft, you basically get that membership and membership perks. You know, whether you're going to a movie, whether you're going to you getting ready to go travel, anytime you become a member, you have access to those membership perks. Basically, what they do, they save you money, because at day and age, people don't want to take on another bill. But with our services, you basically, every time you use that membership perk, you're saving money. We talk about Verizon, we talk AT&T, and we talk about over 400 vendors that you have access to it right away.
So you get a discount right off the top. $9.95 a month is the lowest starting price. So let's do an offer then. So for the first 3 listeners that text in, let's put you in touch here if you're interested. 813-670-7372. We'd love to get you in touch with retired Master Sergeant H.L. Allen here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. 813-670-7372. And also check our website, consumerqb.com, for more information as well. We'll be right back on the other side of this break. We have our feel-good story coming up as well with Connor Keller. Boss pays off employees' mortgage to allow him to retire early. Stay with us. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Hey, I'm Ken Shamrock, and you're here with Consumer Quarterback Show. And I say, Brandon Rhymes, knock out your competition.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, this week we're going to talk about something exciting as usual.
We always have something exciting.
Yes, we do.
At least it's exciting to us.
But this is a question that comes up.
TV, hey, it is Friday night. We're not here. Yes, we pre-recorded once again because WeBeam TV is working over in Tampa with Danziger Star.
62, who knew? I almost said Professional Mortgage Alliance, Joe's Bar and Grill. But actually, it's our 39th week. 62, who knew?
We're at the wonderful steampunk event at the Verizon Event Center here in 2019. I think it's still August, right? Yeah. Woo! Can't remember anymore.
To be able to help businesses to do that part of it. But it's just been a couple of years.
Well, and I've taken the business card files from our business cards and made
Entrepreneurs and professionals of Tampa Bay, welcome to your hour for getting the information, the tools, and the connections
Ian
for
Beckles on Radio Influence.
Or you say left hand white, and then they catch the left hand white. What it does, it helps you quick with hand-eye coordination.
Well, that's kind
As your super connector, we want to introduce you to our 50-plus show partners. We got over 80 categories of expert contributor advice here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, and we want to.
That's where we disagree, but that's okay.
I said nonviolent.
That's okay.
Because, you know, we're one of the only states that don't give them back the right. Got Jamie Limbaugh. He is from the Next Step Image. I love that name because you were telling me earlier.
For the type of republic we actually are is actually very correct. Yet politicians and regular people use these words interchangeably, even though technically they are very different.
if you're an overdoer, overachiever, people pleaser, we tend to neglect ourselves. And even as Sisters Connected here, with Women Unscripted, I know
listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
And we're back. Brandon Rhymes here, your host of the Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. We're hiring agents right now as well. If you are a agent looking to join a team, we'd love to talk to you, interview you, and see if it might be a good fit for us. We'd bring you on the show, help you grow your celebrity, grow your sphere of influence. And we're here on AM 860, The Answer, 4 o'clock drive time daily, a weekend show on FM 102.5 The Bone. And you can find us all over the internet as well on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, all over. And of course, make sure you subscribe to our iTunes podcast as well. Got a podcast out there, Apple TV, Amazon, Roku, on Binge Networks, and it's Intelligent Talk Radio. We got a great lineup today. Chuck Peterson's in the house, Suncoast Roofing. We got Master Sergeant H.L. Allen, he's retired Air Force, and also Connor Keller coming up right here with Insect IQ and All Florida Honey Bee Removal as well here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Before we do, I want to jump into a couple of hot listings that we've got. 5822 Schooner Way in Tampa. This is a 2-story property, waterfront with bay access on a freshwater canal right here in Tampa, in the Bayport area of Tampa, just 5 minutes from the airport. Great opportunity to own a beautiful property here in Tampa Bay, and the property has been updated and looks really nice on the interior. And 5822 Schooner Way in Tampa, Florida. 2703 63rd Terrace in St. Pete. This is a duplex, so we're talking about a cash flow opportunity here. 2703 63rd Terrace in St. Petersburg. Duplex. You got one side rented out, one side is available for owner-occupant or just another rental, and it's a great opportunity to own real estate right here in Tampa Bay, one of the hottest real estate markets in the country. 2703 63rd Terrace, St. Petersburg, close to the Pinellas Trail. Lots of great things to do right around this property. Check them all out at PlatinumMVPTeam.com. All right, let's jump back into it. So we got Connor Keller in the house, Insect IQ, All Florida Bee Removal.com as well. And where do you want to start?
Well, what I'm getting a lot of calls for right now are wildlife problems. It's that time of year, like I mentioned at the beginning of the show. The weather's changing as we get these cold fronts that roll through here. Animals, they'll naturally seek shelter, and that shelter a lot of times is our homes or businesses.
Yeah.
So I'd like to talk about what to look for, what you can do yourself as a consumer, just walking around and opening your eyes around your property, whether it is your business or your home.
Yep.
Also, what you may hear, depending on what type of animal it is. Mostly, you're better off to seek professional help with this. A lot of times, people try to do this themselves and end up calling a professional anyways because what they do fails, or they're doing the wrong thing for the wrong animal. So what I'd like to start with is identifying what's going on.
Yeah.
And a lot of times when you're walking around your property, what I look for are lines that are leading up to the house or business. And that could be cable lines, wiring, plumbing. It could be a driveway, a fence. Animals will naturally follow those lines to the structure. And then also on the house itself, conduit or cable lines, especially rats and squirrels, they generally have greasy fur. So as they travel those same areas over and over again, you'll get an actual rub mark, especially near the area where they're going in and out of the structure. You can see that discoloration is generally just looks darker than the surrounding areas. And then also you want to look for their feces. A lot of times they use the bathroom everywhere they go, so they'll urinate defecate. So especially in the attic, a lot of times that's what you'll find is evidence of them being there, not necessarily the animals themselves. One thing to take in consideration when you're talking about rodents in general, rats, roof rats, we deal with those a lot in the Tampa Bay area. They're nocturnal animals, so they're active at night when you're generally sleeping. So a lot of times you won't hear the noise. A lot of people wake up in the middle of the night and it sounds like there's a herd of elephants running around in the attic above their bedroom or their living space, and that's a good sign too. It's not something you want to ignore. So if you're afraid, again, to go up in the attic and take a look around, that's where we offer free inspections. You can just call or email me. You can call us at 855-930-2847. That's 855-930-BUGS. Or you can email me at connor.keller@insectiq.com. Connor spelled CONNER. I'll respond to email anytime and give free advice. I just want to help people out. But going back to what to look for, as far as the feces is concerned in an attic space, a raccoon or a possum is, of course, going to leave a large pile or scab pile, where a roof rat or a squirrel, the droppings are much smaller. Generally, a squirrel dropping is cylindrical in shape and it's flat at the top and bottom. You also, a lot of times, will find caches of food in an attic space with squirrels. They'll bring nuts and food up into the attic space and deposit it in the insulation and come back for it later, where roof rats generally are scavengers. The other thing to consider, roof rats are carnivorous. They'll eat meat and not vegetables, but plants. Thank you. Produce, basically, of any kind. And it's kind of a gross fact, but a lot of times you'll trap roof rats in an attic space, and before you can get back and check the trap the next day, other rodents have eaten that animal that's in the trap. So you'll find a tail or a head. It's kind of disgusting, but true. And the rats in general are just nasty animals. They use the bathroom, like I mentioned, everywhere they go. They're constantly gnawing, cutting their teeth. So the real danger is them gnawing into an electrical wire or a plumbing pipe in your attic space or in your crawl space, and you can imagine the problems that. And actually, rodents are the #1 cause of fire in Florida.
Really?
And it's completely preventable with preventative maintenance, whether you do an abatement program or you just get annual inspections. I'd recommend that for sure.
Yeah, and also we've heard it said as well with termites. The termites termites alone. I heard the statistics, they cause more damage than floods, fires, earthquakes, tornadoes, like
all of it combined.
Isn't
actually,
it crazy to think about that?
Your homeowner's insurance doesn't cover any of that typically, unless you have some expensive rider. And I've yet to find an insurance policy. I'm not an insurance professional, but I've yet to find a policy that will cover termite damage or a rat running around in your attic or anything like that.
Yeah, we're talking with Connor Keller here, Insect IQ, insectiq.com, as well as allfloridabeeremoval.com as well. So any type of wildlife, any type of insect, you've been on the show, a long time friend of the program. You talked about bees before and all kinds of bats as well.
Bats have been huge this time of year. And they're mammals. They're seeking shelter just like a roof rat or a squirrel, just in a different way they fly. But a lot of the evidence is very similar, where you'll see those rub marks, you'll see the guano stuck to the wall or on the ground where they're coming. Certain species of bats, the free-tail bat has a real strong musty odor, so when you get them in structures, you can generally smell their urine as you're walking up to the structure. Other things to look for are burrowing. If you see burrowing underneath your slab, that could be an armadillo. It could either be a harborage burrow or it could be a pantry burrow, where they're basically burrowing looking for grubs and other worms and types of food that they eat. The real problem there is it's more of a nuisance than anything. Of course, armadillos carry leprosy. That's your biggest problem when you're dealing with wildlife, is the disease that they carry. You just don't really want to interact with them at all.
Wow. They carry leprosy.
It's a wild world out there in Florida.
Holy cow.
Didn't know that.
I didn't know that either. Back in the day when we'd go hog hunting and stuff out in the woods, we'd see if we could catch them. You run and try to catch their tail.
Well, you're not going to get leprosy from an armadillo unless it bites you. They're blind. They're, really, like you said, you could run right up and grab them in the tail. It's just not something you want around your house, especially with kids. It's different than you as a young adult running up and grabbing. I probably wouldn't recommend anybody doing that. But, you can imagine your 6 or 8 year old playing out in the yard and running up and grabbing one by the tail. Possums are real common, and possums actually are a beneficial animal. They eat ticks and other pests that we don't want around our structure, but they will burrow underneath your house or go up into your attic space. They'll crawl crawl right up your AC chute. You'll be amazed.
Wow.
The small spaces that larger animals can fit in and get into your house.
And when we were talking with Chuck earlier, Suncoast Roofing here on the show, those small holes in the soffit and fascia, they'll come right in there, right?
Yeah, actually, that's a great point, a good segue. I was looking at some apartments before I came over here, and they just got a new roof. Probably within, the deck was new. Everything from, I was in the attic looking, but all the siding, all of that was left. And with, you turn off your flashlight, you could see holes like in the siding, the soffit, that was just never addressed. And so, and then you see the trails through the insulation where animals have been coming and going. The lady actually called me because she was having a cockroach problem, and she's in an apartment. She kept spraying, having them spray, but she was getting cockroaches that were always up in the ceiling, and she couldn't figure out why. And through just a little bit of a process of elimination and doing inspections, and found out that she has those entry points in her attic space that need to be addressed. There's existing moisture problems. There's all sorts of conducive conditions that are causing those problems in our house.
Wow. Yeah, it's a whole puzzle piece that you got to kind of work backwards.
That's
and
where
see
a professional comes in.
That's right. Connor Keller, Insect IQ, the best in the business, longtime friend of the program here, and you want them reaching out to 855-930-BUGS.
Yeah, 2847. Or like I said, you can email me directly, and I'll reply to those emails within 24 hours. Send me pictures. I'd love to identify insects and diagnose your problem, and I'll do all of that free of charge.
Awesome. Well, that's great stuff right there. Connor Keller, 855-930-2847, insectiq.com, and allfloridabeeremoval.com is his website. More from Connor coming up here in our lightning round as well. When we come back now, we're going to have top tips, nuggets of advice, parting words of wisdom from all of our expert contributors, and also our feel-good story of the day is a good one. We got boss pays off employee's mortgage to allow him to retire early. Find out about this Vietnam veteran here on the Consumer Quarterback Show when we come back right after this short break. Don't go anywhere.
This is Chris Voss, former FBI lead hostage negotiator and owner of the Black Swan Group, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show hosted by my friend Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. Ian Beckles here.
All right, this week we're going to talk about something exciting as usual.
We always have something exciting.
Yes, we do.
At least it's exciting to us.
But this is a question that comes up.
TV, hey, it is Friday night. We're not here. Yes, we pre-recorded once again because WeBeam TV is working over in Tampa with Dancing with the Stars.
62, who knew? I almost said Professional Mortgage Alliance, Joe's Bar and Grill. But actually, it's our 39th week. 62, who knew?
We're at the wonderful steampunk event at the Verizon Event Center here in 2019. I think it's still August, right? Yeah. Woo! Can't remember it.
Ask an attorney about Florida law.
Yes. To be able to help businesses to do that part of it. But it's just been a couple of years.
Well, and I've taken the business card files from our business cards and made
Entrepreneurs and professionals of Tampa Bay, welcome to your hour for getting the information, the tools, and the connections
Ian
for
Beckles on Radio Influence.
Or you say left hand white, and then they catch the left hand white. What it does, it helps you quick with hand-eye coordination. Yeah.
Well, that's kind
As your super connector, we want to introduce you to our 50-plus show partners. We got over 80 categories of expert contributor advice here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, and we want to.
That's where we disagree, but that's okay.
I said nonviolent.
That's okay.
Because, we're one of the only states that don't give them back the right. I've got Jamie Limbaugh. He is from the Next Step Image. I love that name because you were telling me earlier.
For the type of republic we actually are is actually very correct. Yet politicians and regular people use these words interchangeably, even though technically they are very different.
you're an overdoer, overachiever, people pleaser, we tend to neglect ourselves. And even as Sisters Connected here, with Women Unscripted, I know
You're listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, your host of the Consumer Quarterback Show, owner of the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. We want to help you win in any marketplace. Of course, buying, selling, or investing. We would love to talk to you. PlatinumMVPteam.com is your ultimate resource for all things real estate related. You can do an MLS search there. We've got an app that we can send to you as well, PlatinumMVPteam.com. You'll see all of our real estate properties available there on our website, and our goal is to help you win and your real estate deals. All right, every day we're going to tell you something positive here in our feel-good story of the day.
Tell me something good.
All right, so we got the boss that pays off the employee's mortgage to allow him to retire early. A Vietnam veteran in Texas is retiring early thanks to the generosity of his boss. Albert Brigas, 69 years old, has been an auto mechanic at Renown Auto Restoration in San Antonio for the past 13 years. He was planning to retire after paying off his mortgage next year. Randy Quinones, the owner of Renown Auto Restoration, has known about Brigas' desire to retire for a while, so he covered the remaining $5,000 on Brigas's mortgage. And, quote, he would come into work every day, and even when he was sick, just at that level of loyalty and determination you just don't find anymore, Quinones said. Quinones met Bridges at his bank where they paid off Bridges' home, and he shares with his wife Sylvia for 44 years. Brigas is now one week into retirement, said he's looking forward to spending more time with his two grandchildren. Cool
That's
story
awesome.
right there, man.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I like that. Great pictures there of them. They were posing together there. That's cool.
Yeah.
Awesome story. Love that feel-good story of the day here. And this segment is brought to you by Brothers Easy Moving, the official moving partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show, Brothers Easy Moving. And I can tell you from firsthand experience, they are a first-class organization. Whether you're planning a local or long-distance moves, we want you reaching out to Brothers Easy Moving. Let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. All right, we got a great lineup here today. Chuck Peterson's in the house. Master Sergeant H.L. Allen, he's retired from the Air Force, as well as Connor Keller, Insect IQ. We got our feel-good story of the day done, and we're going to do our lightning round here.
The lightning round! I am so good at lightning rounds! I majored in lightning rounds.
All right, here we go. Give us some top tips, some nuggets of advice, parting words of wisdom. Chuck Peterson, you're up first, sir.
Well, I appreciate being first and all that.
Yeah, man.
Top tip. I'm saying we're going to go back to our standby top tip of you got to do a little research on who comes out to your house. If you're doing a construction project or any kind of project on your house, make sure people are licensed. Make sure they're getting the permits that you need to have. Make sure you don't give them 50% of your money up front.
Yeah, that's right.
We've had those discussions in the past, but as a consumer, we're responsible to make sure we're doing a little bit on our part, to make sure that the people that you're dealing with are professionals.
That's right. Absolutely.
So it's easy to check out, but a lot of people don't.
Yep. All right, Master Sergeant H.L. Allen. Give us the top tips, nuggets of advice, and words of wisdom.
Sure, be glad to. One thing that we're finna to happen, we're finna get ready to go into the Christmas holidays. Thanksgiving is right around the corner, and Christmas will be here soon.
Yes, sir.
Here's what I know. A lot of people are going to be spending a lot of money. They're going to use their credit card. So the main thing, whenever you use your credit card, be careful where you use it. Whether it be a restaurant, whether it be a store, just check your balance when you go home. And one problem that I see a lot of folks, they basically put mail in their mailbox. Stop doing that. If you take a minute to take it to the mailbox, to the post office, do. That's the best thing to do, because anytime you put that flag up in front of your house, you just told someone you got mail. You don't want to do that. So those things that you'll need to look for. And also, I come in and I train people on identity theft, because I'm a certified identity theft risk management specialist, meaning I know quite a bit about identity theft. So main thing is be careful with that. And for the Christmas holidays, a lot of people are going to be on the road. We have we don't fix tickets, but we do help you. So the main thing is watch your speed. Just because you have a legal shield membership, don't go out there and speed. But if you do, we have attorneys to represent you in court.
Nice. I like that. Connor Keller, Insect IQ.
Well, I just want to talk mostly about people trying to do things themselves versus seeking professional help. A lot of times you think you're saving money in the long run, you end up spending more money. And also doing a little bit of preventative maintenance around the house, checking the attic space, taking a walk around. It gets dark early, so you got to do this a lot of times on the weekend. When I'm getting home, it's pitch black. I don't know about you, but it's difficult to do any kind of preventative maintenance or inspections in those kind of conditions. So get up early on a Saturday or Sunday, pop your head up in the attic. If you see something funny going on or looks out of place, droppings that aren't supposed to be there, trails in the insulation, give me a call. I'll come out and give you a free inspection, an estimate to take care of the problem for you.
Yeah, I like that. Good stuff. And I will talk today a little bit about some of the negotiation strategies. We teach negotiation and branding over at the Realtor Boards. But be on the lookout, especially if you're in sales like me, for the 3 types of yeses, okay? A lot of times you get a yes and it's not a real yes. It's just a counterfeit yes. All right, that's the one that's basically saying, yeah, leave me alone. Yes, you get that false yes is what they call a counterfeit yes. The confirmation yes is simply just they're agreeing with you as they go. So it's just it's a response of a yes, a confirmation, just a yes. What you really want is that commitment yes, okay? Those are the commitments yes that's going to lead to a signature on a contract. That's going to be a yes that is going to help you close business, close deals. So the way you get there is by utilizing a mirror, a label, and also open-ended questions. So you want to look back at some of our episodes where we talked about mirrors, labels, and those open-ended questions, calibrated questions. That's going to help you get to a negotiated agreement and a deal that's going to help you close business. So beware of the 3 types of yeses out there: the commitment, the counterfeit, and the confirmation. All right, let's do another round here. We got more time here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Chuck Peterson's in the house, Suncoast Roofing, Connor Keller, Insect IQ, and HL Allen ID Shield. So let's do some more tips.
All right, so I'll go with back to piggyback off Connor a minute. People don't look at their roofs very often at all, not until it's leaking away. You know. So we're through the storm season, and we do have the holidays coming. Like HL said, it's Christmas will be here and gone in no time. And then January, February comes around, and it's the cold weather gets here, and the rainy season is fixing to start. People need to get somebody on the roof to look at it.
And you guys offer that as a free?
Yeah, it's free, sir. Just like if you need an inspection, we'll come out there and look at the roof, and if there's some issue needs to be taken care of, we'll, say, hey, this is what we recommend, and we can do this, this, and this, But you don't want to wait until the leak is in your house already, because the problem's much more severe at that point in time. But it's something people don't think about because you just don't see it.
Yeah, exactly.
Be good for people to take a little initiative and get out there and look around and just say, hey, I got a shingle missing here, or something doesn't look right, and, they can get a hold of us and be out there, look at it.
Suncoastroofing.com.
Yes.
Suncoastroofing.com. All right, HL, give us some more tips and nuggets of advice here in the areas of identity theft prevention. We got gun owner supplement, ID theft, ID shield.
Okay. Something else that I definitely need to mention is wheels. That's the area that we take care of legal shield. And 7 out of 10 in America, they say don't have a wheel. And unfortunately, if you don't have a wheel, the state of Florida has one for you. You're not going to like it. So one of the things that our individual get when they get the membership, they get a wheel. If they marry, their spouse get a wheel too. Contract review. How many times have we signed a contract we don't know what we were signing?
Yeah.
And you sign your life away if you don't know what you're signing. So those are things that are very important. And when it comes to identity theft, it's an ongoing crime. It's ongoing. It's not going away. It's a $1 billion industry.
Yep.
And the guys, what they're doing now, they're not going to rob the bank. They're robbing you right from their living room.
Yeah.
Right from their. I mean, it's happening all the time. And the kids are a big victim of identity theft.
Yeah. Yeah, this when you look at the statistics on identity theft and how it's growing, it really is something that you got to start planning for.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you got to be careful about it. Connor Keller, Insect IQ.
Well, we came up with this bundle program. We've talked a lot about it. I'd like to mention that it's an opportunity to take multiple services and bundle them together with Insect IQ and save some money, simplify the billing process, simplify, if you're having a problem and it's ants crawling from your yard into your house, who do you call? Do you call the lawn guy? Do you call the pest control guy? Well, this resolves that altogether. You just call me and I'll take care of it all.
Yeah, I like that. So bundle all of it together, and it's like a low monthly.
It is. So depending on how many services you bundle together, you pay a down payment, and that takes care of all the initial services and any setup fees, and then you pay a low monthly payment, and the price goes up, obviously, the more services you add to it, but it's all structured to be affordable and give you value back to the consumer.
Yeah, that's important. And this is the time of year, too, when people are doing goal setting. So it's a time where, we're starting to think about, wow, we're closing down 2019 already. We're going into 2020. So when it comes to programming your mind, and we talk about the reticular activation system in your brain, it's the RES in your brain. You may have heard Tony Robbins or other folks talk about this, but it's like having a computer in your mind. So when you start thinking about your goals, you write them down, you put them on paper. That's going to help you essentially make it more firm, make it more real when you write it down. There's something special that happens when you take a goal from your mind and you actually write it down on paper. So over the years, I've been writing different goals down and following through with them. But start thinking about that. As we're getting close to that time of year where you want to do that, you want to set limits and goals and ideas that you want to have in the future. So start thinking about how you're going to power your reticular activation system in your brain. And, most people spend more time on planning vacations or their fantasy football picks than they do of actually putting down goals, right? Putting down goals on paper, putting it to paper, making sure that, someday is not just an island out there, someday Isle, right? So, that's our goals for today here. Think about that. Start planning your 2020. Have a successful 2020. I want to thank our expert contributors, Chuck Peterson, Suncoast Roofing, Connor Keller, Insect IQ, and Master Sergeant H.L. Allen, retired as well, and ID Shield here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Something as simple as packing up some food or clothing, carry it with you to and from your commute, hand it to that person that you see in need, and be a force for good in the community. Lots of ways that you can get involved out there. And also save our hotline number in your phone, 813-670-7372. Anything you heard on the show today, we want to make sure you have our hotline number available to you, 813-670-7372. And bookmark our website, consumerqb.com. You can see links there to all of our expert contributors at consumerqb.com. And we'll see you next time right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Contact Brandon Rhymes at 813-670-7372. That's 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for The Consumer Quarterback Show.